Relationship advice subreddit. Title reads: My girlfriend, who's 26, cheated on me, a 30-year-old male, and I'm struggling with what to do. Well, if your girlfriend cheats on you, you should show her the door, but let's read on to see what this guy has to say. I've been with my girlfriend for over 3 years. A few weeks ago, she cheated on me while extremely drunk, and I'm torn on what to do. What are you torn about? I do get it though. When you've been with someone for so long, it's hard to detach your feelings. But from the outside looking in, you should leave her no matter what. Doesn't matter if you've been with her for 20, 30 years. Doesn't matter if you have, a whole plethora of children from her. You've got to leave. Because she'll never respect you if you stick around after she's been unfaithful. The past 9 months have been incredibly difficult. I suffered a major leg injury, lost my job, and fell into depression. Well, if you are going to marry someone and the wedding vows say through sickness and in health, through richer and poorer, women don't stick to that. They do leave if things go bad, but they especially leave if things go bad and you don't do anything about it. I think most good women, if you go through a bad phase of your life or you go through an injury, they'll support you during that period. But if you can get better, you decide not to, and you just mope about in misery and depression and say, oh, woe's me, then she will leave. Even the good women will leave if you're not making the effort to turn your life around. So maybe this is what happened to this guy. Let's see how long he's been in this bad state, and let's see if he's tried to change his ways. But it doesn't surprise me that your woman's left you when things have gotten difficult. Without health insurance for physical therapy, I couldn't exercise. My main coping mechanism. As a result, I withdrew emotionally, neglected our relationship, and stopped being intimate. I now see how much distance had grown between us, but at the time I was too caught up in my own struggles to recognise it. Look, it sucks that you got into an injury, but just reading that paragraph, I can tell that he could have worked a way out of that. He's coming up with excuses. Now, they are valid excuses, He must be from America, so health insurance is very expensive. But you can control other aspects. You can control about your emotion and how you speak to your woman. You can't just cut her off and put up a concrete wall because you're going through some bad times. Stop being intimate. That kind of tells you that maybe she was trying to be intimate with him, but he didn't feel confident after his injury, so he shut her off in that regard. And this is a young woman, she's 26, you need to fulfill her needs. I don't care if you've only got one leg, like you've got to put the work in to keep her interested. So this guy's he's gone through some bad stuff and he's just stuck in that slump, and he hasn't crawled out of that hole to try and regain that confidence that he has. And girls love confidence, and yeah, he's certainly lost that confidence. I can read that from the first paragraph. A few weeks ago, we went out with friends. I left early for another event and she stayed behind. Why would you leave your girl out drinking with other people? And why did she not follow you? Like, he doesn't mention here what he left for, but for whatever reason she should be coming with you, or after you leave she should use that as an opportunity to go home. I've got nothing wrong with that, you guys going out together for drinks with friends, especially if you've been together for 3 years, so that's completely fine. But you shouldn't be leaving her out drinking, and if that does happen, she should want to leave. She shouldn't want to stay out without you. You two are a couple, you two are a team, and you two are split apart on this night out, so it's not a good sign. In the short time we were apart, she ran into an old college friend. Ran into him or messaged him to meet up. Got blackout drunk and ended up sleeping with him. Oh wow. Okay. So let's just say it probably wasn't just an old college friend. They obviously have a past, probably a sexual past, which made it so easy for them to hook up. And to get blackout drunk, is there any bigger red, black flag than a woman getting drunk too quickly, getting drunk too easily? You don't want a girl who forgets everything she does, acts like a fool, gets all touchy and feely after some drinks with other people. You want someone who's stable, and if she's had a few drinks, she knows her limit, and she goes home respectfully. And to say blackout drunk, women sometimes say that, and men, and they use that as an excuse for the behaviour they have, and they make out they don't remember it. I'm sure she remembered having another guy's dick inside her. She broke down immediately afterwards, came home in distress, and confessed the next morning. Well, look, at least she's admitted to it. Maybe she's admitted to it because the friends she was out with would have told you. Maybe there was lots of witnesses. Maybe the other guy confronted her and said, you know, I'm going to tell your boyfriend, you don't tell him. Or she just felt honestly guilty about it. If she felt guilty about it, that's at least a small good sign. But at the end of the day, she cheated on you, and she got blackout drunk, and she was meeting up with obviously a previous lover behind your back. So just end it straight away. This should be the most easiest conversation. Throw her bags, her clothes, everything out of your house and show her the door. She's deeply remorseful. Is she? If she was remorseful, why would she do it in the first place? And disgusted with herself. Bet she didn't feel disgusted when it was happening. I bet she was enjoying every inch of it. Friends and family are all shocked because this seems out of character for her. Women are very good at hiding exactly what they like. Even guys too, like family members don't know what you're like behind closed doors. You can put on a front. They're not with you 24/7. The person who knows you better than you is probably your partner. They know the true you. So yeah, they might be shocked because she's not going to tell her family members that she's a whore and she sleeps around and she would possibly cheat. Obviously, she's going to keep those parts of her life away from her family. So this isn't really anything to focus too much on. Before this, she had been an incredibly thoughtful, caring, and loyal partner. So that you don't know what she was doing behind your back. She insists, "I'm the love of her life." If you were the love of her life, she would not have cheated on you. And wants to work through things, acknowledging that real change needs to be made. This hasn't, just happened on one night. This has been brewing for a while. She might have had some unfaithfulness before this event, but this has been building for a while. I don't think just the injury has caused this. I think over the 3 years you've caused her to be unattractive to you, and I'm not blaming this on the guy. Like, obviously he's made mistakes and he shouldn't still have the possibility of wanting to be with her. Like, he's stupid for that. But she's just obviously a bad character person, and yeah, she may have came across as nice, sweet, and caring. Some women do. They're pretty good at showing that in the early stages and can keep up that facade for a long time. But she's none of those things, and she showed her true character. The biggest red flag in our relationship has always been her drinking. So this has been an issue before, and this guy allowed her to stay out with friends and carry on drinking. If it has been an issue before and you guys have spoken about it in the past, you should never pick up a drink again, and you should set those boundaries and those ultimatums to say, if you drink again, we're over. And obviously he hasn't set up those boundaries for this woman. She rarely drinks, but when she does, she completely loses control and becomes someone unrecognisable. Maybe she just shows her true colours when she drinks, when she lets her guard down and the mask slips. This was already a point of tension, and now it's at the centre of this betrayal. And in some ways this is great that this has happened because you've seen her true colours, so maybe it's good you never set any boundaries or ultimatum, and you're still young, you just hit the magic 30-year-old mark. Leave her and find someone younger and nicer. Like, don't waste your time on this woman who you think has character, but the only character I see is a villain arc, so you need to move on from this, man. Looking back, I realise our biggest issue was a lack of communication. Possibly. I completely shut down due to my depression, and if I had made even the slightest effort to bridge the gap, I don't think we would have reached this point. Look, I'm sure you made effort throughout the relationship, but it's tough to make effort with someone who has bad and low character. But yes, maybe you caused her to go down this path by your negative behaviour and your unattractive traits. But again, at the end of the day, she's a bad character. Even if you were a very good man and you treated her well and you had lots of attractive traits, she'd still end up leaving you when things got bad or when she got a bit bored. And you're only three years in. Imagine if you were 6 years in, you have kids, and you got married, and she'd be even more bored of you because it's 6 years down the road and the spark's gone. So yes, you could probably improve how you were in this relationship, but she's a bad person, and that's where the full stop ends. Nothing more needs to be said there. Looking back, I realised our biggest issue was a lack of communication. Apologies, I already read that. I knew cheating is inexcusable, and I've ended relationships over it before, but this situation feels different. By the way, to have had relationships end over this before shows he has a terrible Jojo character. So from that, it sounds like he's had multiple relationships, exclusive relationships with women, and they've cheated on him before. Why is this guy attracting bad women? I can probably tell why. He's probably choosing the women who look like they've just walked out of a brothel or just given off these really negative vibes, and he seems to have an attraction for that. And they probably just see him as this gullible, nice guy who's going to put up with it. So yeah, this is not a good sign. I think he needs to do a lot of self-development and self-feedback to himself, because obviously he chooses women poorly, and the women you choose is a reflection of yourself. So she's been the most supportive, caring partner I've ever had. This guy's just talking absolute rubbish now. He's got his rose-tinted glasses on. Until this one terrible night. I don't think it is something we can rebuild from, or I'm just trying to justify saying, no, this is nothing you can rebuild from, and you say it's just one terrible night. It's very likely there could have been other nights that you don't know about. And I just got this niggling feeling that maybe she messaged this guy before and got him to come out after she had a few drinks, and the guy was like, oh, this is an easy hookup, I've slept with her before. And what are the chances you're going to run into someone from school? Is it a very small town they're living in, or is it a big city? Yeah, I'd be checking through her phone and seeing if there's been any text between this guy or not. Final paragraph. For those who have been in similar situations, how did you decide whether to stay or walk away? Walk away, bro. Walk away. What helped you work through it, or what made you realise it was time to move on? Mate, as soon as she was unfaithful, it's the time to move on. Why go through a situation with someone who's been unfaithful to you? Start fresh with someone new, a clean slate, and work your way up. You're just fighting a losing battle. It's like running on a beach on dry sand. It's difficult to run on. You want to be running on a racetrack or pavement, which is easier to run on. You're just running up a hill at this point, and you're never going to get over it. Every time you look at her, you're going to think of the other guy. You're not going to trust what she has to say. This caring, sweet girlfriend you thought you have a different perception of her now. So you're always going to have your guard up, and you'll lose all respect for yourself if you stay in this relationship. So yeah, this guy needs to leave. This girl actually needs to seek help. She might have a drinking issue. She obviously has this split personality. And yeah, you want to find someone who is crazy about you and who has good loyal traits. There are women out there who are wonderful and will be the cherry on top of the cake of your life. This girl ain't it. She is a rotten apple. And if you eat a rotten apple, don't be surprised when it tastes like garbage. So yeah, that's all, guys. Cheers. See ya.
Behold the god of thunder! Your powers are mine! I am feels so good.
A little help, please.
Gamma shield!
An extra force field? Great!
My power
I'm not safe.
Protect! Need to break free!
Behind you.
Hold breakers! Hammer shield! Hulk smash! Leave them to Gamma shield!
You stopped them in their tracks.
Everyone wants to take on Hulk. Idiots.
Only 60 seconds left.
Put a target on enemy.
And so it begins.
Hulk protect!
This time I need healing.
Show's over. How was that for a trick, Loki? The end has come, but just for you.
Gamma shield!
Down to 30 seconds.
Almost there. Don't break now. No smashing us now. Can't use my
You stopped them in their tracks. 10 seconds. Perfect hit.
I'll take all the healing I can get.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Too puny. Hulk protect!
I have a shield, but nothing else.
Your powers are mine! I suppose this version of you does have its benefits, Bruce.
Leave them to